What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video, another quick take. I got my main man, my partner, my road dog.
If you don't know, now you know. The Prince of Fresh Air. Always good to be back.
Yes, sir. So we've got an article courtesy of CNN.com, which says Jonathan Majors arraigned on several assault and harassment charges. The article goes on to say that actor Jonathan Majors was arraigned on several assault and harassment charges Sunday, the Manhattan DA's office tells CNN. The complaint does not name the female accuser, but claims the defendant did strike her about the face with an open hand, causing substantial pain and a laceration behind her ear. She also claims the defendant put his hands on her neck, causing bruising and substantial pain. A judge released Majors on his own recognizance and granted a limited order of protection, according to the DA's office. Major's attorney told CNN Sunday there are two written statements from the woman recanting these allegations, adding that they are presenting evidence to the DA, including video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver, and others who both saw and heard the episode. It says Majors, who recently starred in Creed 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, was arrested Saturday morning in an alleged domestic dispute. And Majors, age 33, was taken into custody following a 911 call made from an apartment in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan, according to a statement from the New York Police Department. And I'll just finish off by it saying his lawyer or attorney told CNN it was Majors who called 911 due to concerns for the woman's mental health. Now, this is a very unfortunate situation, and I was kind of sort of hesitant on talking about it, but at the same time, I feel like what I have to say and my perspective is kind of necessary. But before I give mine, bro, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Oh, I'm reserving my real opinion to more stuff come out, but my immediate thing was, it's funny. Not to diverge too much off of this, but someone made a good point. Someone said, look at Jonathan Majors, upcoming black man, celebrity. Something like this happens, people automatically assuming he's guilty till he's proven innocent. But when you look at people like Ezra Miller, who's kidnapping adolescents, a white dude, he got a movie coming out, and it seems like that hasn't bothered his fame. But nonetheless, I digress. I don't know if he did. I don't know. But based off what I've heard, so apparently that I think it was Friday or Thursday night, whenever the altercation happened. The girl in question saw another woman texting his phone. That caused an argument. Now, I don't know, but as someone who's seen how many people react to that situation, I've seen a lot of girls get physical with dudes because they think they're cheating. And now he's a celebrity. I don't know if this is a long-time girlfriend or who this is. But nonetheless, she saw another woman text his phone. Things got heated. She's saying he attacked her. And then the next morning, she went to the police and pressed charges. Now, apparently, she recanted her statements or recanted the allegations this past weekend. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he did or didn't do it. But for me, I say it looks like he didn't do it. Apparently, his lawyer says there's evidence, video, and witness statements that's going to exonerate him. Unfortunately, the problem is no matter what happens with him, no matter how you slice and dice the situation, Jonathan Major's career is probably going to be much done at this point. A black man don't survive these type of allegations in Hollywood, especially when you're not even. I mean, look at Will Smith. I mean, he's been in Hollywood how long, and he's still getting criticized a year after a slap. Yeah. So imagine what's going to do this for him.
Right. For me, I think it's kind of ironic, and I feel like it's almost not a coincidence that at the peak of his career, these sorts of allegations are coming out. And you could agree that it's rare that you see a black actor kind of have a come up the way that Jonathan Majors had in such a short amount of time, because he's had The Harder They Fall, Devotion, Ant-Man, and Creed in a very short amount of time. I would say like in the span of 6 to 8 months, this man has had 3 major films in theaters, theatrical releases. We ain't talking straight to streaming. Now, this brings me back to something that Eddie Griffin said in the DJ Vlad interview that people can look up, where he said that it's very rare that you have a black entertainer that enters the industry and leaves without an asterisk next to his name. You know what I'm saying? So, like you just mentioned, Will Smith now has Oscar slap. And if it wasn't Oscar slap, people would reference, his relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith. Now Jonathan Majors has this domestic violence, charges and things like that. So again, it's just another example of strong black man or perceived strong black man being brought down in the eyes of the media. Now, I've seen my fair share of Jonathan Majors interviews, and I'm not going to claim to be like, a big fan of him or none of that, or rather like his biggest fan. But in one of his interviews, or I think in a few of his interviews, he has made a habit of bringing a cup with him during the interviews. And here's the highlight or the profound, part of it, because it's symbolic. And he was saying that the reason why he brings his own cup to these interviews is because nobody can fill his cup, meaning that, he's responsible for his own validation rather than, anyone else. Because the thing is that can be taken away at any given time. Now, when you put yourself out there in the media, or if you're an actor, you're a singer, you're a dancer, whatever, the thing is, people will love you today and hate you tomorrow. And it's like Jonathan Majors went from being like the new it actor to 24 hours later, the same people that were saying how much they liked Creed, how much they liked him in Ant-Man, how much they liked him in, The Harder They Fall, so on and so forth. These are the same people that are now throwing him under the bus. And then this just tells me that, like, yo, you cannot invest in like anything that the public says about you, good or bad, particularly good, because they don't really mean it. Because the minute that you make a mistake, again, you can go from being, the crown jewel of society, to, again, public enemy number one. Because if we're going to, talk about Will Smith pretty much had a spotless career. And the same people that were once praising him said the opposite and were pretty much saying that they wanted him to be canceled. They want all his future projects to be taken away. And I'm just like, damn, man, I hate to see it. And also, for all men out here, domestic disputes with women are not worth it. I've said this before, and I will say it again. A woman will ultimately always be the downfall of a man. That is a fact. That is a fact. And mind you, I've seen these things firsthand, with guys having, baby mama drama and stuff like that. And then it gets them into some form of trouble that has to involve the police. And we're talking about Jonathan Majors here. When you've reached that echelon of success, nothing is worth compromising that. And I hate to see it because, frankly, sky's the limit for him, because one, he's got a movie called Magazine Dreams that's coming out at the end of this year. And then he was supposed to be portraying Dennis Rodman in a biopic film, which to me, that's pretty cool. I mean, if anybody could portray Dennis Rodman, it would probably be him. Not to mention all the work that he's supposed to be doing with Marvel, because everybody wants to know what Marvel's going to be doing, or how they're going to respond to all of what's happening right now.
Yep, this is a sad situation. I feel bad for him. I mean, again, I don't know if he did or not, but here's the thing. Someone hit this right on the head when the whole Will Smith thing happened. It was a huge media outlet. I forget which name, so I won't throw a name out there incorrectly, but there was a huge media outlet that finally said what they've been thinking. We was waiting for Will Smith to become a thug. We always knew he was a thug. And that's exactly what a lot of people view black men in Hollywood as. So for Jonathan Majors, he's not proven as Will Smith yet. So a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, he's quiet. Oh, he got that Ted Bundy aspect of him. He probably did do it.
Yo, bro, you're always mentioning Ted Bundy, bro. That's like the 5th time you mentioned him on a quick take, bro. I didn't even know who that is.
You don't know who Ted Bundy is?
Nah, I'm about to Google him right now, because it's just like, yo, you always mention this guy.
Look up, Google him. But
but continue what you were saying. My bad.
Yeah. But it's one of those things when you're a black actor. I mean, as soon as something like this happens, you're basically, your career is going to be over. I hope it's not. But
I don't think his career is going to be over.
I don't think it'd be over, but Marvel's most likely going to drop him.
He's probably going to but here's the thing though, they can't drop him if he's not found guilty, if there's actually no evidence proving that he in fact assaulted this woman. I mean, obviously in the media, it's always guilty until proven innocent. But in my opinion, it's innocent until proven guilty, because again, we've seen this over and over and over again, whether it has to do with famous people or otherwise, that women tend to say things and lie before the court of law. They do this all the time. And apparently he was the one that called 911. She was the one that was having, an emotional episode. So there's no, evidence yet that proves that he's a domestic abuser. And I'm not saying, I condone, let's say if he was guilty, I condone what he's doing. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that people should, wait before they make judgments, especially, when it comes to, Kevin Feige at a Marvel Studios and stuff like that, because the future of the MCU is revolved around Jonathan Majors and the character of Kang. It's not like they can just go and recast him and then people are not gonna notice. It doesn't work like that. So I don't think, really, of all people, they should be the last ones to jump the gun and make any final decisions, in my opinion, as it relates to Jonathan Majors.
I don't think they will, but however, like I said, black men are not held to the same standard. We've seen this. For instance, Chris Brown, he spoke about it on Drink Champs. He said, you know how many times I've been asked to do the Super Bowl, and then the moment someone finds out, the media starts like, oh, he's a woman abuser, he did this, and then they pull a plug out of it. I mean, last year he was supposed to do I think one of the award shows. He's supposed to do a performance. They pulled it at
he was supposed to do the Michael Jackson tribute. At, I forgot which, was it the American Music Awards? I think it was.
I think so. It was it was the biggest one.
Yeah,
but that's what black men don't get the same. That's what I brought up Ezra Miller. A lot of people like to say race is not a thing. But like Chris Brown said, when it comes to your white buddies and white people in Hollywood, they tend to get a pass. Look how long Harvey Weinstein has been working before he finally got sentenced to prison. And people knew he was guilty for the last decade. That's what I'm saying. For Jonathan Majors, I hope. But for many men, you're guilty to proven innocent in the court of law, especially in the eyes of the public. And for Marvel, they probably look at it, he's not LGBT, so he don't have that going for him. And two, they have the multiverse happening. So realistically, they could be like, you know what? We don't want to. It's best for us to save face and keep our reputation, intact. You know what, John? It was good working with you, but until things clear up, we're gonna leave you out there by yourself. You don't really get that. Besides Dave Chappelle, when Netflix actually stood up for him, but that's because Dave Chappelle is well loved by many people. Jonathan Majors, yeah, he's becoming a big name, but he's not a Will Smith. He don't have that same fan base.
Right. He kind of just
back him.
He kind of just arrived in, I guess, Hollywood as A-lister just recently. So it's not like, you're right, he's not like a long-standing established, actor. But here's the thing: we've talked about this before. There are racial, inequities as far as the way that the media deals with black and white men. Because as you mentioned, Ezra Miller, I literally just Googled him. And I'm looking at his Wikipedia, and underneath the controversies and legal issues, you got disorderly conduct going all the way back to 2011. Then moving forward to April 2020, he had a strangling incident where it says a video surfaced in a since deleted tweet that appeared to show Miller strangling a woman and throwing her to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then fast forward to last year, he was arrested in Hawaii for having a physical altercation with patrons. And then his girlfriend got an order of protection against this guy. But again, his movie, the Flash movie, is still coming out. I think, I saw the trailer the last time I was at the movies to see Creed 3. So, but we already know that the way that, again, we are treated versus our white, counterparts is completely different. But the way that we, combat that is avoiding these situations, period. Because they always say that the best cure is just preventing it altogether. Because my thing is, when I first seen it, I was like, yo, I'm not arguing with a woman about anything. She got it. I'm out. Especially if I know I got a career to protect. I got my, my livelihood on the line. I'm not risking that over a relationship. Because you said that, and I heard that it was because she saw him texting another woman. Bruh, like, this is my thing. If I'm Jonathan Majors, I'm not saddling myself up with a relationship. I'm not doing it, because he has the liberty to do whatever the hell that he wants. He's a 33-year-old grown-ass man, and he's an A-list celebrity at the peak of his career. Why would I saddle myself up with a woman who's trying to monitor and micromanage how I'm living my life and what I'm doing? See, remember I was saying when we talked about TJ Holmes and Amy Robach, the way that you avoid all of this drama is you don't make a commitment, period. You don't, at least not before you're ready, not before it's time. There's a time and place for everything. It's not worth it.
You're right. But unfortunately, when you're a celebrity, there's so many. You know what? This situation could have happened to him, whether this is longtime girlfriend or a booty call, right? I mean, someone's out to get you. They're going to get you one way or another. And especially, that's why I'm saying, like, when it comes to domestic violence, especially when you're a black man, it's not taken lightly. A lot of people's going to perceive you as guilty. I'm sure a lot of officers who arrested him thought he was guilty right off the bat. The court system is probably looking at him like he's guilty until they see the evidence that his lawyers are saying that's out there. But that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where his reputation is going to take a hit. So even if it came out that she lied, his reputation is shot. How many dudes you know walking around this earth who are A-list celebrities who's been accused of domestic violence against another woman and has survived? Yeah, you could say they've still made some money, but they haven't reached that same success. Jonathan Majors still new. The problem for him, and let me also bring this up too, because this just caught my attention. So I'm reading an article by Vox, and social media people got a whiff of this guy. So Jonathan Majors, for people who don't know, he got his master's degree in drama from Yale. And apparently he's been known to have a history of abusive behavior in both Yale and New York theater scenes. So in February, some filmmaker and director, he tweeted and then immediately deleted a tweet. Filmmaker and director assistant A.B. Allen. He says this, and I quote, "There's a particular actor relative new on the scene who Twitter has violently fallen head over heels for, who's actually a vicious, cruel, abusive human being, both professionally and in his personal life, and every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane." And then once the news about Majors broke, he came back out on Twitter and then re-deleted his tweet that he clarified that he has known Majors to be emotionally violent, physically abusive. And then another actor, stage director, Tim Nicolai, another one who's tweeted and then deleted his tweet, said that folks at Yale and the broader New York City community theater have known about Majors for years. He's a sociopath and abuser, and that is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. Now, a lot of these media outlets caught wind and they try to get in contact with these people. Well, what do you know it? They turned their Twitter private. They deleted the tweet.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, it sounds like cap to me. Because if that's the case, if these things are in fact true, then why is it that you waited so long to say something about him? It's like you're waiting until he was at his weakest moment to then try to come out and say the truth. And the thing is, you won't even stand by it because you're deleting your tweets and then you're putting your social media on private. So you won't even stand on what you're saying. So to me, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. That's why I say that it's not a coincidence that this is happening right now. You get what I'm saying? It's like when you finally make it, when you finally cross the bridge, you finally get over the mountain, and then all of a sudden people want to try to pull the carpet right out from under you. Nah, I don't know. Me personally, I just think people should just hold off on saying anything until, a final decision is made or more evidence is being made, because the thing is, he was arraigned today. So that means he appeared before a court today. So there's a whole process that's going on. And honestly, again, me, in my opinion, as a fellow black man, I hope that the charges, against him are dropped, because for me, I learned from these guys, young, and old actors. So it's like I'm watching them and I'm studying them and I'm learning from them. So it's like I would hate to see it's kind of like Chadwick Boseman. It's like at Chadwick Boseman's peak, he's gone. He's gone. You literally watched him just go out the window. So I'd hate to see that, happen to Jonathan Majors in literally the worst way, I'm not going to say a worse way, but in a way that it's like the perception of him in the media is dying.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what, Vox, they go on after they, made this thing about these two guys on Twitter. They go on to talk about, this, especially with what happened today with him appearing in court and all that stuff. It raises much more questions. Is he really a sociopath? Is it possible for a pattern of disturbing psychopathic behavior to go undressed for years while major roles through the ranks of Hollywood? Is it possible that the police made false assumptions based on Major's race and the surface level optics of a complex situation? That's what I'm saying. Let's keep an open mind to it. Like I said, I don't know if he did. I don't know this man. Never met this man. I don't know this girl. So I'm not saying she's a liar.
I'm
I'm
not
not
keeping an
saying he's
open
a
mind
saint.
to nothing until again it's set in stone that he was found guilty, or he,
Oh no, no.
there's
When I
evidence leading to, or lending itself to the fact that he in fact abused this woman physically or
oh
physically
no, yeah,
assaulted her.
yeah. Oh, when I say open mind, I mean for me, he's innocent to prove guilty. That's how
Right.
the court have it, and that's how it should be. But I'm saying I'm keeping an open mind. It's like you never know. You think you know people, and then you really come to find out that quiet dude is the one that goes and shoot up the school. But
Well, but here's the thing though. I mean, it's just as you read. It's like, how could a man who is in fact a sociopath, which by definition it says a person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and a lack of conscience, how could a man like that, rise through the ranks in Hollywood in a career that forces you to have to deal with people? It's not like acting is just a solitary profession. No, you are working in conjunction with your cast, the producers, the director, and the crew. So you would think that if he was really this bad guy, then you would have heard about this when he was working with Spike Lee on The Five Bloods. This whole entire
right,
time working on Loki, working on Ant-Man. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I feel like it's easier to try to pin these things. And I don't always, run to the race card or pull the race card, but in this situation, I have to, because it's easy to label, a black man as violent and the sociopathic thug because he's black. It's easy for people to
right,
do that. Like you said in the beginning, people are like, yeah, I always knew he was a thug. I always knew he was like that. And most people are more inclined to believe that. I'm not though. So there's
right.
no way, there's no way that if I'm this violent dude, then it's like, all right, okay, so let's say if I'm this violent sociopathic guy, right? But then I've worked at this job for 20 years that requires me to have to be, outgoing and outspoken and constantly, dealing with people. How could I maintain this job and have a good reputation at that if in reality I'm a sociopath? That makes no sense. I think maybe just because I think maybe things didn't go well between him and these, particular directors, that does not mean he's actually like that. If
Right.
I don't like
But
somebody, so just because let's say I don't mess with this particular person, does that person's perception of me automatically become everyone's perception of me? No, that is just my personal dealings with this person that just happens to be negative. But that doesn't mean, it's like that for everybody else. That's on an individual person to person basis. So this person is just projecting their, experience with Jonathan, which again may or may not have been, true, onto everybody else. No, I'm not believing this person, who again can't even stand on it, they themselves.
oh, absolutely, and that's the thing. It's like you're gonna make, and that's the problem. Too many people they try to jump on these wagons and try to collect on a payday, and then when it's time for them to be questioned, like these guys, they threw all of these allegations. He's a sociopath. He's abusive, mentally, verbally, and all this. And then when it's time for them to present even a fact, name a person he did this to. Oh, they put their Twitter on private. Nobody's heard from them since. But the reality of the situation is, and this is why I'm saying I hope for Jonathan it all works out. But reality is, he's just coming off of Creed 3. He had to put on size for that. So the police show up, and this is like you said, men, it never works out for you. He's in good shape, big
Physically
dude now.
imposing.
Yeah, physically imposing. And I'm sure the girl he's with is probably on the petite side. So the cop, for even if that
They said
wasn't the
that
case,
that's his girlfriend, so it might be the woman, the white woman that's floating around social media. Because I've seen a lot of people criticizing, black people criticizing Jonathan Majors for having a white girlfriend who, which may in fact be her. I'm not 100% sure.
well, even what the race doesn't really matter, but even for that, even if it was a black, well, it probably does play a small part. But even then, he's a big black dude. The cops come, they're looking at him and they're looking at the girl. Usually, like I said, when it comes to men and domestic violence, like I said, I watch a lot of these shows where men come on these shows and talk about being. I remember I watched Judge Mathis, right, and I'm just throwing it out there. But this dude came on. He was bigger than the girl, but the girl pulled out a gun on him. He was telling his story, and they was laughing at him. Because they always look at men as, oh, you have to be the one, to protect yourself. But if you ever defend yourself, you're a woman abuser. And based off the evidence I'm seeing, it looks like he might be exonerated. For black men, like you said before, you have to be careful on the people you surround yourself with. And it's a lot easier for people to say, he did this to me. A lot of men are always looked at as the aggressor. I watch a lot of these shows where men are trying to defend themselves, and I see it all the time. Oh, you should walk away. Oh, you should be a bigger person. It's like, no, sometimes, you're in a situation that's unavoidable, and he's a famous person. So what is a good, like, I'm not accusing her of doing this, but for someone in her position, he's famous. She's mad at him. She saw another woman texting his phone. I've heard of dudes, in this situation where the girl lies and says, "Oh, he did this."
Yeah, to get back at him.
My own family. It happened to one of my own family members. So I'm not saying she did that, but I mean, based off the evidence,
possibility.
She waited a whole day. I really feel like
it's a strong possibility. And what's funny, I was on Twitter yesterday and I saw a video of a girl who was hurting herself or bruising herself with a hammer to then call the cops and say that her boyfriend did it. And in these situations, it's not even that whether or not the police believe her, but it's, I guess, by law or according to their policy that they have to arrest the man on site. So if a woman says he put hands on me, if you are still there, you're done. They're going to arrest you just off bat. So I'm not ruling any of these things out.
And that's the sad part. It's that our laws and all this stuff need to be changed. But again, the problem is going to be, okay, we believe he's innocent, but what are the executives of Marvel, of these other productions he's doing? They're probably looking at it like, okay, we might stand for him, but he's not a Will Smith where we can say 100% we back. Will Smith had the reputation. Denzel has the reputation. Tom Cruise has the reputation.
Will Smith had the reputation, and then there was still, a refractory period where he had to, one, apologize, and then wait it out to see what was going to happen. Because the Oscar slap happened in March. He didn't really kind of come back around until towards the end of the year. We're talking like September, September, October was really when you started to see Will Smith kind of, around again. And now you're starting to see his projects, get to moving again. But my thing is this, as far as the whole Marvel thing is concerned, or if I was in Jonathan Majors' position, which God forbid I ever was, but if let's say, in this case scenario, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So Marvel, whatever it is that they're going to do, they're going to do it, whether or not, if they're going to keep him, they knew they were going to keep him. If they're going to, give him the boot, they were going to give him the boot. It is what it is. But I still believe that Jonathan Majors is a great actor and he deserves, to go on, to move forward with his career. And again, I don't think it's fair that, the accusation of a woman, is enough to derail a promising career like that. So, and here's the thing too. And when I said that, I learned from, these black actors, I also learned from these types of situations, like this. And this is just telling me to be very discriminatory as far as just people in general, but women particularly, yeah, because you never know. Because it'll be the same girl that you all laid up with saying you love her, she love you, y'all talking about, having babies and playing house and stuff like that will be the same one that'll turn around and have you all hemmed up with police. I'm good on that. I'm good on that, bro.
Yeah, man. It's funny. I was just reading about a bunch of other cases where people set another partner up for domestic violence, whatever the case may be. But usually, like you said, it's the man who takes the brunt of it until, when it comes to domestic violence, you're guilty to proven innocent. And even if Marvel likes him, right? The point I was making about Will Smith and all of them, about having a reputation is, for instance, Universal Pictures could say, you know what? We've known Will Smith for 20 years. I'm going to believe him until I see something other than that tells me, okay, maybe I shouldn't be backing this guy and will distance himself. Jonathan Majors is not a household proven name yet. So a lot of studios aren't going to risk their bottom line, their reputation, their stockholders, the people, their shareholders. They're not going to risk their reputation for a guy. Yeah, in the sense of the movie, I mean, look at Chadwick Boseman. He passed away, but they were able to kind of recover slightly or in a way
Barely.
and keep
If
pushing.
we're talking about Wakanda Forever, they barely recovered,
No,
from
oh no, no,
that.
no.
But there is credence
Right,
to what you're saying because Will Smith did Aladdin, and that movie made $1 billion. They
right.
already had Aladdin 2 planned, but it seems like now the sequel is out the window, and people are speculating that the fact that Aladdin 2 is not happening has a lot to do with the fact that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Right.
So,
And
there is a level of merit and legitimacy to what you're saying, because a lot of these family friendly, franchises, it stems from, the clean image of these actors. They're not going to get, a freaking serial killer, or let's say, Bill Cosby to come back and then do, what I'm saying, the next, they're not going to do that, because essentially what they're saying is by associating or casting Bill Cosby in their next, major box office project, they're essentially aligning themselves with his, negative track record, his criminal record. So more often than not, they're going to distance themselves from the actor. However, we're talking about Will Smith, who, again, I love Will Smith, but this is the facts. He slapped Chris Rock on camera. It's not like this happened backstage. No, there's video proof of this happening. Freaking Bill Cosby, he was charged in the court of law, proven guilty of, said allegations and charges. So therefore, there's really no disputing that. With Jonathan Majors, we don't know yet.
no, we don't. But unfortunately, when it comes to black men,
Right.
It's a different standard. That's why someone like Ezra Miller, who ran away with a minor and kidnapped her from a family for half a year, he still has a movie coming out. People are still clamoring about his performance. DC still backing him. They didn't drop him yet. I mean, it's one of those things where I pray that Jonathan Majors, if he comes out that he didn't do this, he can have a successful career. I just don't know if Marvel is going to, because his court case is not until May, so that's 2
Really?
months. Yeah,
Jonathan Majors.
Yep, May 6th is
Oh
his
my
court
gosh.
date. That's 2 months.
That's that political system right there. Yo, they're gonna make you wait. They're gonna make you wait a couple of months. And then the thing is, like, honestly, career-wise, I personally wouldn't want to be in that position where, my reputation and my credibility and good name is on the line for another month and a half to 2 months. And even then, that's just May. So in reality, this won't really be over until the summertime.
Yep. And
Unless
I
this
feel
woman
bad.
really publicly goes on record saying, yeah, I was lying, this is not true, blah blah blah, which is why the lawyer is saying that to expedite the process, because that's how it goes. Remember the same thing happened with Chris Brown. This woman said that Chris Brown did this and that, but fortunately for him, he had text messages that showed, one, he had a consensual relationship with this woman, so therefore whatever it is that she was saying is going out the window. You know what I'm saying? Because if that were to linger around, then people are going to take that and run with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rough spot for him, because 2 months, unless some video evidence gets slipped through the dark web and people find some evidence that exonerates him, that's 2 months. 2 months, a lot of people to form an opinion. 2 months for a lot of people to decide the next move. A lot of these
or for people
studios,
to keep talking about it in the worst kind of way, because you see the way that I'm talking about it is I'm trying, I'm not really trying, but I'm supporting him. I'm on his side until, I'm proven, otherwise, or I'm given a reason to feel otherwise. And here's the thing, I'm not Christian at all, but I always come back to this proverb. This is like the favorite one that has stuck by me, for years. And it's Proverbs 31:3, and it says, do not spend your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. That is a fact. That is a fact. I have a rant on my channel where I said that. I said a woman will always be the downfall of a man. You could have it because it's always going to deter you from your ultimate goal. Facts.
It's that jealousy. When you become a big name, you have to move accordingly. And unfortunately, you think you have somebody in your life that's out for you, but there's a lot of jealousy there. There's a lot of envy there, and all it takes is an accusation like that. It's like when someone calls someone a child molester, right? And you could bring out all the receipts that you want to prove you didn't do it. Once that stigma's out there that you might have touched a little kid or you raped a woman, a lot of people gonna look at you differently. And for him,
it takes years and years to build up a career and minutes to destroy it. minutes
Exactly.
to destroy it. That's why I really hope, because let's say if this happened during like the Defy Bloods, and that was before people really, knew about him like that. I think The Harder They Fall was kind of really when the spotlight was on Jonathan Majors, because that was a pretty good, movie with so it's a relatively, star-studded cast, for the most part. There are a lot of good names. Idris Elba was in there, Regina King. Who else was in The Harder They Fall? I know R.J. Kyler was in it. I like him, but basically, a lot of good names. So, for all of that to go up in smoke over that, nah. It's like, let's say, like if you shot somebody, defending yourself, that's one thing. But for a domestic dispute over a little itty bitty argument, nah, bro. Nah,
Yeah.
I hate to see it. And that's why, again, these things happen, for the next man to learn from them. Because I've had plenty of examples, that I've seen firsthand that I never want to be a part of. And this is just another, example of it. Because we always see our figures, and I'm not saying that I looked up to Jonathan Majors, but we always see these prominent Black figures. There's always something next to their name, and then we always see them, get lynched in the media, essentially.
Right.
And never liked them in the first place.
And I hope, and the scary thought about this is the fact that it could come out that he was innocent, and the only reason why she even did this because she saw another woman texting his phone. I mean, you see this all the time. The jealousy causes people a lot of issues, whether someone's going to end up dead or in jail, and there's usually a lot of people can't control themselves. I really hope she didn't potentially just end this man's career over some text from another woman, because that right there, not only did you ruin his career, he has children. How are they going to eat now?
We got a 9. I think his daughter is 9 years old.
Yeah, we're not talking about kids who could just get up and go work at McDonald's or go get a job. We're talking about little kids that he's providing for. And you made this allegation. Why? Because you saw another girl texting his phone. Again, I see this all the time. How many times you seen dudes murder girls over little stuff like this? How many times you see girls set up dudes for stuff like this? I really hope, and when all this comes out, first of all, let me say this: I do support Jonathan Majors, and I really hope he didn't do it. But after this, I hope he cuts ties with her, because I see this time and time again too. A lot of dudes think it's funny. Back. They get back with these girls.
they go back.
It's just this happens again, yo. Yeah. Let's say he survived this. If she does this again, it's over for him. 2 times domestic. Come on. I hope he moves smarter.
Yeah, but it takes a certain kind of wisdom, to be able to separate yourself from something like that very early on. Now, here's the thing, monogamy, in reality, it is for the average man. Okay, the average working class man, the people who are not, famous and not in the upper echelon, tax brackets. Okay, because you don't see, think about a lot of these guys that mainstay, figures in media right now. Stephen A. Smith is not married. Shaquille O'Neal is not married anymore. Freaking who else? Chris Brown doesn't, you don't see him with one girlfriend. And then what happened? The 2 times that he had girlfriends, how did that go? Right. Drake, jealousy. Same thing. When was the last time you saw Drake walking, holding hands with one woman? When was the last time you saw that? And you see how his public image has been pretty good since he's come out. I want to be like that. Where, again, I'm not going to allow, me telling a woman that I'm going to be, a monogamist with her. And then the one time, all I got to do is look at another girl the wrong way, and then she's going to try to ruin my life. I'm not doing it. Because you're telling these women that trust me, and mind you, I don't want to get too far deep into the relationship thing, but when you're famous and you are rich and you're constantly on the go and your woman is at home, she's going to be insecure. I bet you whatever text message that she saw, it probably wasn't even all of that. I'm pretty sure it wasn't even all of that. But because her mind is constantly, going and wondering, what you're doing with who, why you're even with her, because you're a multimillionaire and you could be with all these millions of women, and then you're with this relatively average looking girl. Yo, come on, bro. You're setting her up for failure, and you're setting yourself up for failure. I'm not doing it. We talked about Dr. Dre back in 2020. What happened? He did the whole monogamy thing for his wife to say that she wanted, how much did she want per month? Like $2.2 million per month?
Yep.
This is what I'm saying. freaking Tiger Woods. Same thing. He did the monogamy thing with this woman who I guess he had some sort of one-on-one relationship with since 2017, and he can't even get the woman out of his house. So she's fighting with him in court to stay in his house. I am not doing it. And if I am doing it, like I said, it's going to be with a woman that has her own stuff. Because she ultimately, I truly, I'm starting to feel that the woman that I'm going to be with, she's going to be in the same industry as us in some way, shape, or form. And she's going to be her own success, because you get a regular girl, and it sounds nice to just get a regular chick. But in fact, the regular chicks are more dangerous than the famous ones and the rich ones. Brian McKnight, he was dating regular women prior, like, years prior. Now he's with a regular woman, but the thing is, she's a neurosurgeon for kids. She's a brain surgeon for kids. So she's got her own. She's rich by herself. So her and Brian, they come together, they have more. But I can't have everything, and I try to share it with a chick that has nothing. Because the minute I take it away from her, she's going to be like, oh shit, without him, I have nothing. And she's going to start to panic. You don't think that that's probably what happened with Jonathan Majors?
Yep.
Come on, man. Like, come on. I've connected the dots already. I feel like a detective, Sherlock Holmes up in this bitch. Dead ass. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And it's not.
Easily.
It's not worth, because I'm a regular guy, and I've already learned multiple times that drama with women is not worth my time. It is not worth my time. My last breakup happened because I liked a random chick's picture on Instagram. Seriously, this is facts. I liked the chick's picture on Instagram, and we broke up because of that. I'm not having it. I've dealt with enough drama on the come up for me to finally get over the hump, and I'm already going to know I'm not dealing with that. You're gone. Will Smith said, and this is in one of my rants, if I catch one bad vibe, I'm out. Facts. I'm not putting up with nothing. Because that's the mantra in life. It's like, yo, I don't have to put up with something. I don't want to put up with it. So needless to say, if I'm, Kang in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm the new Thanos. In fact, I'm projected to be a better villain than Thanos was in Infinity War and Endgame. I'm in Loki. I was just in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and then now they're revolving the next Avengers film around me as the villain. And you know how well these movies do. These movies do like $1.5 billion. This movie could do Avatar, Way of the Water numbers. And then I'm gonna freaking, get all that taken away from me and my good name, dragged through the mud because I told a woman that I was gonna be committed to her only in this whole entire world. Bro, have you ever seen Coming to America before? You've seen that. Of course. See, here's the thing. Do you remember in the beginning of the movie where Prince Hakeem was supposed to get married to the woman that his father arranged for him to get married to? And then when he called the marriage, off, and he was talking to his dad, and then he says, Dad, I don't think that I'm ready. And then he basically says, oh, so you want to sow your royal oats? He says, you're right. Get out, see the world, enjoy yourself, fulfill every erotic desire. That is a fact. I am sowing my royal oats. It is not going to be, trust me, because I've already cracked the code. So if I have, which I will have relationships with multiple women, they're going to understand, yo, I'm not just doing this with you. Brian McKnight said that. They asked him, she said, so when you decided to settle down with your wife, what was it like for the other woman in your life that you was messing with? And then he said, yo, I had it set up that none of these women thought that they were anything anyway. So I just never talked to them again. That is a fact. That is how you do it. That is how you avoid drama. Honestly, now I've literally had an epiphany. Like the woman for me, like that, it's going to be a right fit in the grand scale, macrocosm. She's not going to be a regular woman. She's not.
It's one of those things where you never know, right? I think Brian McKnight probably got lucky, but generally, I mean, look at people who's been married for, decades. Look what happens when they get divorced or whatever, you never know with people because,
Okay, when Stedman, is Oprah still with Stedman right now?
Oh, I don't even know.
That's a good question, but continue, and I'm going to look this up real quick. That's a good question. Because the point that I'm making is, if Stedman and Oprah went their separate ways, you don't think that would be probably one of the most amicable parting of ways ever? Because Oprah's a freaking billionaire. Oprah is a billionaire. So I'm pretty sure she doesn't mind breaking him off a little sum if that's what he needs. And then that's it, because you're dealing with a woman that has her own stuff. That's what I would, honestly, like, that's what I would want. I wouldn't want a chick that, again, she's going to pose financial risk to me. If when I want to go my separate ways, she's not going to want to, let me go, unharmed, you know what I'm saying, relatively speaking, because she doesn't have anything going on for herself. Because I remember saying so many times to people like, yo, I don't really like a chick's own personal accolades and all of that doesn't mean much to me because I want to be 100% supported, right? But then again, I get with this said woman today, that doesn't mean she's going to be as agreeable 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, because she's going to be accustomed to the lifestyle that she gets from dealing with me. And then the minute that the notion of that being stripped away from her because I'm going to go and deal with some other woman, she's not going to have that. Trust me. She's not going to want to let that go without a fight, at least, without dragging my name through the mud and without taking 50% or more of what I have. I'm not doing it, because just like I said in 2020, if she was not in the trenches with me now, watching all my YouTube videos, commenting all my YouTube videos, rubbing my back when I'm going through things in real life, supporting me, being there for me, spending time with me in the trenches right now, she's no woman on this earth is entitled to any of that. Needless to say, getting into, initiating some sorts of domestic disputes with me, and then my Marvel freaking career is out the window. People are talking about me in a negative way because of what she started. Nah, bro, I'm not having that. I'm not even going to deal with a woman that's going to make me want to call the police about anything, because they said his lawyer said that he was the one that called the. Why am I talking to the police? I don't want to talk to the police. Hell no. She is gone. She is gone. Yo, I hope that's not the mother of his kids, and I hope that's not his girlfriend or some shit. His official girlfriend. Like you said, she's gone. The first thing he needs to do is cut her loose. You're gone. I would never talk to her ever again in life.
Right. It's one of, Bow Wow. I would say this. Bow Wow said this in the interview before. He said this when he has girls come over to his residence. He has cameras. And he makes them sign a form, so he's protected
Real
legally.
Shit.
I mean, you have to, and that's the unfortunate thing. Like I said, it's a conversation I had with a chick before about open relationships and stuff. The problem with that is, or the expectation of casual. People catch feelings. It's one of those things where people might agree to it at first, but realistically, especially when you're a celebrity, how many of these women you really think is going to be just walking around hanging on Michael B. Jordan's arm without catching feelings at some point? It's going to happen. And especially if this is something that's going to keep happening, it's bound to happen. The problem is a lot of people act irrational. It's unfortunately, you can't.
First of all, these chicks don't even love Michael B. Jordan for who he is. Yeah, no, but any woman that Michael B. Jordan meets tomorrow, meets today, is not with him for him. That is another reason why you can't actually invest in these women. You can't, because I know what it is. I'm getting what I want to get out of you, and you're getting what you want to get out of me. But I'm not gonna ever convince myself, oh, this chick is with me for me, to the point where I'm gonna be all emotionally involved, to the point where she feels, that it's okay to argue with me and fight with me in public, in a car. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here. Like I said, I wish Jonathan Majors the best. He does not deserve this, and I hope that he comes out on the other side of this intact, or his career and reputation in relatively decent shape or repairable shape, because I don't think it's to the point where it's irreparable. The only way his reputation will be irreparable is if what she said about him was true. Because let's say she probably could have attacked him. She said she got a laceration behind her ear. She probably attacked him. He pushed her off of him. She fell. She got a cut behind her ear. Come on, man. Come on, man. This detective work is too easy. It's too easy.
It's sad, man. It's a lot of times you get into these situationships, and for him having a girlfriend, you never know what someone's motives is. You could be with someone for many years, for a day or two, and you never know what their motive are, especially when your circumstances changes. I don't know how long she's been with him, so that's why I'm reserving until more things come to light. But what if she was with him before all the fame? She's probably jealous now. She's seeing all the attention he's getting. He's going to all these premieres. He got girls hitting on him. That jealousy is starting to show itself. This is probably a situation of jealousy. Maybe he is a sociopath. No, I don't know this man. I don't know.
Man, yo, Jonathan Majors is not a sociopath. Okay, at least I'm sticking up for this man. I'm unapologetically sticking up. I am now sticking up for this man. Facts. I'm on the Jonathan Majors side of the fence. This man is not a sociopath. I don't think so. He does not strike me as a sociopath. Okay. And then if this woman is the one that he was with prior to that, you got like, this is the thing. If I'm all right, trenches right now on the come up, making a name for myself, building my, my status up from the ground up. If I'm with a girl right now, I have to have a conversation with her, especially if, I'm on sets and I'm going to be gone for 3-4 months at a time. If she's not there with me, she's going to be wondering what I'm doing. It's like they say about, R&B singers, that it's best if they're not, even NBA players, it's just best that they're not in relationships, because there's going to be a lot of women throwing themselves at them. And it's going to be hard to say no. It's going to be very hard. Like, yo, trust me. It's like, imagine you playing for the Lakers. You on a team with Anthony Davis, LeBron, all of them. And then you see like the baddest chick side court. Yo, you see the bad, like, all right. Have you ever seen the video where it was Kobe Bryant playing, it was Kobe Bryant, he was playing a game, and then Halle Berry was there, side court, or court side. And then she was giving Kobe Bryant the look. I don't even think he's seen it, but she was eyeing this man. You telling me you're going to turn that down? I'm not setting myself up for failure, and nor would I want to hurt somebody else by lying to them and fronting like I don't have the intention of sowing my royal oats, because I have to get all of that out of my system before I even think I could just settle down with this chick.
Right.
So no, I'm not going to make a woman feel that she's entitled to me, my time, my money, my lifestyle, none of that. None of that. Again, the woman for me, I'm declaring it now. She's going to be someone in the industry. She's going to be someone in the industry, because I'm not going to have, there's certain things she's already going to know. She's going to be privy to what comes with what men experience being actors and otherwise, and entertainment in general. Why do you think Will Smith and Jada were able to have the arrangement where she could just, see whomever and he could see whomever? Because they're in the business. They know. That's part and parcel of what comes with it. Regular people, they don't know certain things. That's why they take everything personal. There's a reason why I'm starting to come into this, space in my life where, again, not everything is personal. That's why when we talked about Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, I was like, yo, it ain't personal, because we go our separate ways. That means I can go and pursue what will make me happy, and she can go and pursue what will do the same for her. But regular people, they don't know that. They don't know that. They're like, oh, my life is over if this person walks away. You only see regular people feeling like that. Regular people do that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not regular.
Yeah. I would say you see people who are relationship dependent act like that, because a lot of people act like relationships are end all be all. They need somebody in their life at all times. They need somebody next to them. They need somebody always. If you're like that, then relationships are always gonna just suck for you. I'm not like that, but many people act like a relationship is gonna end up break their life. And that's the problem with
those people are idiots.
Oh, most people are idiots. But you know what? When it comes to stuff like this, for her, she looking at, I'm about to lose the bag. I'm about to lose the God too. Oh, nah, I got to put a stop to this. That's why I hope for Jonathan Majors, whatever the outcome, they leave each other alone. He goes on way.
I am no woman's bag. I am my own bag. My life is about me. I am number one on my list, on all lists, in all facets of my life. No woman is literally I'm not going to be any woman's bag. No. Okay. She's going to have her own bag, and we come together, and then she does things for me. I do things for her. Because why would I want to be in a relationship with some chick? I do everything. I do everything. She brings nothing to the table. I can get anybody to do that. No, that's whack. That's whack. That's whack. Give me Justine Skye. I was already adding her on my Instagram story, and she's seen it. Give me her. Give me her. Why? Because she has her own. She has her own life. She has her own wealth and resources. So when we come together, we are wealthier. If I'm in a relationship with some regular chick, I'm wealthy. She doesn't have anything. No, because then you set people up to be like that. That's why. That's why. So I hope Jonathan Majors will come out on top, just like he did in Ant-Man, Quantumania and Loki and Creed, all of that. That's what I hope, bro, because he doesn't deserve this.
No, but like you said, man, hopefully this all clears up. He clears his good name. and he leave this woman alone. I really hope he don't show up on the red carpet or anything with this girl, because you're literally going to set yourself up for failure. But time and time again, we see this all the time. People who shouldn't be with each other, stay with each other.
Keep going back. Keep going back. Keep going back. There's nothing there. There's nothing there, because you keep looking. You keep looking in your rearview mirror. You're gonna crash, because you should be looking forward. You should be moving forward. Because things like this, they happen for a reason when it comes to like people in general. So when you find yourself in some crazy ass situation with your girl, especially if it involves police in any way, shape, or form, it's done. It is done. And if you stay, anything that happens to you moving forward is all your fault. So let's say Jonathan Majors were to, clear his name, and then something else happens down the line, it's his fault. It will be all his fault, and he won't get any sympathy from me, because that's how I am. I'm like, yo, if I know you're not for me, I'm not rocking with you. So it's the same thing when I say, if I give you a pair of shoes that's not your size, if you continue to wear them, then your discomfort, your pain, and anything that happens to your foot as a result of you wearing shoes that you knew was not your right size, that was not a fit for you, is all your fault, because you chose to wear them. You know what I'm saying? But Jonathan Major strikes me as a knowledgeable guy, a smart guy. So I'm pretty sure he knows the protocol. He's 33 years old. I mean, he should know better. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Please be sure again to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.